complex problem. Yes, we know that, Prime Minister. That's why you're paid more than 160,000 quid a year to damn well fix it. Yet, yesterday, 661 more people arrived in 15 boats. That, my friends, the third highest in a single day this year. Joining me first up is migration policy expert Zoe Gardner. Zoe, I really appreciate you being on. Sunak suggested that he could deliver on his pledge to stop the boats by the next election. I don't believe anybody can do it with the current situation. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, actually, Jeremy, it's lovely to be on your show, and it's lovely for once to find I'm agreeing with you. I don't think that was ever a realistic proposal. And the Prime Minister, you know, he's made his own bed, hasn't he? He said, judge me by my actions. I will do, you know, the 5 points that he repeated ad nauseam, one of them being, I will stop the boats. Yeah, well, every expert who he consulted, who his government consulted about the policies that he was putting in place, told him this isn't going to work. And lo and behold, it isn't working. Actually, this approach is never going to work. And it's because it's the same approach that we've been using for several decades now, as long as I've been alive, at least. I'm not sure how long you've been alive.
Well, don't say that. Many decades. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? As I approach 60.
I've been alive a few decades too. And during all that time, we have been enacting deals with other countries, whether that's France, the whole of Europe, or countries across Africa and the Middle East, to send people back, to lock people up, to patrol beaches, to build fences. It's never worked. It's cost us billions, unthinkable billions. We sent 480 million pounds to the French just, 3 months ago, was it? And what's resulted in that? This approach doesn't work. And I'll tell you why. It's because it's a basic human behavior. You move from where conditions are bad, from where it's difficult to live, from where it isn't safe, from where there's no opportunity, and you go to where you think you can build a future for yourself, for your children, where you can be safe. And
can I jump in? Because the one thing that I've said to everybody on this show, what I love about JK Live is people don't have to agree. I don't agree with that last sentence. Let me put it to you. It's bad and difficult to live. France. So what are you saying? We should take them all in the United Kingdom?
Are you saying France should take them all? The ones that want to come here, the ones that have family
members? But they
all
want to come here because we're the softest nation, Zoe, aren't we? Zoe, a serious question. We are if you were given, let's just say you weren't escaping a war-torn country. Here's a genuine question to you, and I appreciate you being on. If you were escaping, you wanted a better life. Why could you not achieve that in France? Why is it always the United Kingdom? Why, if you're in Calais, you're in a tent, but in the United Kingdom, you're in a hotel? You've got to understand, I don't disagree that people have different opinions. What I'm trying to get through to you is this. This really, really annoys British people in their millions, by the way. It really does.
It annoys me too, Jeremy. It does. And since you asked me an honest question, let me give you an honest answer. You know this as well as I do. 3 times as many people applied for asylum in France last year as applied for asylum in the UK. It simply isn't true that the UK is always the destination. The people who are trying to get to the UK, all the research shows us, the Home Office's own research shows us, are people with connections to the UK, whether that's family members, whether that's members of their community who are here that they think will be able to support them, whether that's the fact that they speak the language. There are all sorts of good reasons why a small proportion of people who are seeking protection in the world want to come to the UK. And the problem is they don't have any way to do it.
OK, let's bring in the panel. We've got Nick, Mike and Rebecca still with me. Nick, your response back in. Zoe, what's your response to what the panel have said?
Oh, they said so many interesting things. I would like to come back on the question of the one who said that there were safe routes available and that we could have a discussion about whether they were enough. The number of people who've been able to benefit from a safe route to the UK from Afghanistan is 54. So it's just a lie that there are safe routes available to refugees?
Dubois?
No, it's not a lie, and I think that language is wholly unhelpful. There are actually numbers we know from Syria coming on 20,000. Has it been working?
Years ago, that scheme closed down. More than 7 years ago.
Okay,
You're still living in the past. There's no way for a Syrian to come here today. No way at all.
No, there are routes to get in this country, as I have said.
The fact that they may be... Okay. And we're swallowing this lie to justify the fact that, as the other panellists
Well, I wish I could get a line in for you to swallow,
millions of pounds on a failed system.
Let Nick speak, Zoe. Let him speak, if that's OK. Go on, Nick.
So it's been acknowledged by parliamentary select committees that there are routes to come in here. There is a huge debate as whether those routes are working or not. You've even got critics...
Can you tell me one of the routes that's operational now?
Let him speak.
That's it.
One route.
Right, OK, fine. There are routes that were put in front of the Parliamentary Select Committee, and I hope you can go and give evidence to them and put your point of view over, because I would suggest that you are wrong and you are exaggerating as well. So perhaps we can agree on that.
Good. We asked a poll if Sunak fails on his pledge to stop the